And folks, every Wednesday, 40 past the hour, we talk to our man Teddy Kekstadt. You can check out his outstanding weekly report, the Tiger Forex Report. New issues every Monday, updates throughout the week when warranted. You gain access to an archive webinar. Teddy did in the last year as well. It's only $97, folks. Check it out. You get a 30-day money-back guarantee. And don't forget, under the Services tab, okay, a couple great webinars. You gain access to them. You can access them as many times as you like. They're right on your members page. Capitalizing on time with calendar stock option spreads, and then Japanese candlestick pattern stock and option strategies. And let's get into it, man. Teddy Kekstadt, good morning.
Good morning.
Boy, we got quite a market, man. Yields calming a bit in the Treasury market, but the dollar, we're trading at 99.55. Maybe we kick it off with the dollar. What are you watching most in this market, Teddy?
Yeah, it's a sideways week. It's a holiday week. You know, I mean, the numbers aren't. I mean, we had the numbers that came out for the pound this morning were good for their what was it, retail sale? It was not retail sales. They had the CPI, I think, this morning, right?
Okay.
Yeah, that came out pretty much in line. You know, so that the British pound has a nice little breakout to the upside. You know, it started yesterday. You a little bit of follow through today, but not much. You know, so I mean, you have a higher euro and a higher pound, so that's why the dollar's down. But you know, it's pretty much just reversing the losses that those currencies had against the dollar yesterday. So I think you're kind of in a little bit of a consolidation phase. I mean, however, the euro hasn't made a new high; the pound has versus the dollar. So, but that's just because they've had the numbers to come out and kind of like catch up with that move. So I think that's really what you're seeing right now. There's not, even with the yen, you know, there's not much of pressure on the dollar right now today. I mean, it's on a daily basis. Yes, the pressure is there, but it's not really significant on a trend basis, if you will. You know, and you still have the numbers for Canada coming out, and that's like in another couple of minutes on whether they would do an interest rate move or not. So, I mean, I don't think that's going to really shake up the Canada too much, but that may also add a little weight to the dollar. We'll see. You know, that happens in about, I think, like 5 or 6 minutes or something like that. So, okay. Yeah, as far as it's a holiday week, Tommy, you got to be very careful, you know, as we get towards Friday. You know, I would say that there's probably some morning swings, and after that, be very cautious in the afternoon, especially as you get through today for the rest of the week.
Nice. And yeah, closed on Friday. Sneaks up always a little bit. We got so many front-end holidays in the market. But yeah, Friday for Easter, Good Friday. What do you think about yields where we are right now? Kind of, you know, where the market, we were spiking dramatically. That seems to have calmed a bit. What do you think about that Treasury market in terms of, and even interesting in terms of how it's reacting with the dollar a bit? But what do you think? I think we're sitting just above 4.3% right now on the 10-year, something like that.
Right. Yeah, I think, excuse me, I think that the yields are actually part of the reason why you're seeing this kind of consolidation with the dollar right now. Obviously, yields are definitely leaning towards retracting than going higher, but they're not really doing much right now. I don't think I think the expectation level right now and the volatility factor for the interest rate market is starting to settle. Now, ironically, though, you got to realize is that on an intraday basis, you're still catching some nice moves in the 10-year and the 30-year. I mean, I have to say, like, volatility has gotten that extreme over the past few months that now you're seeing a very good daily trade. I think that daily trade is going to start to tighten a little bit, you know, as we get through, obviously, this week because it's a holiday week. And I don't think we're going to have anything that's really going to stir it up probably for the next week or so. I think maybe as we get into the May numbers, when those start to come out with the unemployment, and then as we start to get into those numbers, that's when I think you're going to start to see the interest rate market start to really stir, and we might whether it's going to retract yields or you know, send them back higher.
Nice. And what about crude? You've had some great calls in that market, man. We bounced a bit last Wednesday, of course, man. I talked to you, and then what time was it at? 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, something like that. Of course, we got the reprieve. Crude was chopping around 55, 56. We're at $62. Kind of just chopping around since last Wednesday. What do you think of that market right now?
Yeah, I think that's what we're settling into, that kind of a range trade. I think from 62 down to 55. I like that area for the next month or so. I really do. I think that's just you know, as far as being bullish, above 62, no, I think I'd be very cautious with any. I think you'd see a spike high if you see above it, and I don't know what you need, some kind of big fundamental factor that would come into play, you know. And right now don't foresee anything like that outside of some bad event. Outside of that, I do believe that you're going to probably see pressure on support. As far as how much of a dive you're going to take, I would say it's not going to be that extreme. I like that range right now for the next month or so.
Nice. And what do you think of gold? I got to ask you. We talked about the yen, of course.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about the currencies, but man, it's like every day. And we're gold bulls right now at TFNN, folks. But quite a price tag in gold, up another 2.5%, $80, man. And it's interesting that, of course, when you talk about the dollar, right? You got a weak dollar overall. That should be a help to the price of gold. But even as we've chopped around, gold, quite the move. What do you think? $3,300 and change right now this morning at all-time highs on gold. You got any takes there?
Yeah, I still remember when we talked about this a week ago. Remember, I gave you that price target of 33.25. I think that's pretty much where we have a good shot at still spiking up to there, especially with the breakout we had. Today it's a nice little upside move. I would say, wouldn't you?
I would. Listen, we just had have you on last hour, Teddy, and we would have been at 33.25. Well, at 9:10 this morning we were there, but yeah, quite a move, man. Yeah. All right, well, Teddy, I appreciate it, man. You have a great Good Friday. Have a great Easter weekend, man. How's Chicago? How's beautiful Windy City this morning? How are we doing?
You know what? It's actually sunny and nice. It's going to be mid-50s, pushing 60. So we're supposed to be in the 70s on Friday. So I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a nice weekend.
Spring has arrived in the Windy City. Awesome. Teddy, I appreciate the time as always, folks. Check out that Tiger Forex report. Check out those webinars. Great information, especially in this market with so much volatility. As you said, this volatility. Teddy, I appreciate it, man. Have a great weekend. Have a great Easter. We'll talk to you next Wednesday.
Tommy. Take care.